Welcome to the Mind Abyss podcast, where the plan is to dive deep into the mind. Today's guest was born in Canada. When he was only 19, he started his first company. It was a biotech software company. He would eventually sell the business and get into the venture capital world, helping companies raise money. Then he started speaking around the world with the goal to help other entrepreneurs. In 2003, he founded Evan Carmichael Communications Group. He uploaded his first video on his YouTube channel, Evan Carmichael, in April of 2009. His channel now has over 1.5 million subscribers and is one of the most popular entrepreneur YouTube channels out today. He is also the author of Your One Word and Top 10 Rules for Success. Evan Carmichael.
Hey, how you doing, Evan?
Good. Let me turn you up a bit. Here we go. This is it. That is a funky background, man. I'm liking it. What is that?
Thank you. It's just a tapestry that my wife and I got in Ithaca, New York.
Nice, dude. Are you from New York?
I am.
I'm coming in like 2 weeks.
Not from New York City though. We're from upstate, small little city called Elmira.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna be in Newark, but then coming into Manhattan for a meet and greet.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Well, cool, man. So I'm pumped. I'm ready where you are.
Hi. Well, I got a few questions that I've been writing down because I ended up I read Your One Word. I got the audiobook and I listened to it and so I guess I'll start with how did you come up with the concept for Your One Word? Like where did it come up with? Like where did you come up with it exactly?
So I was running my website and I thought I needed a new marketing slogan for my website. And as I thought about what I wanted my marketing slogan to be for my website, I realized this should really be something that's a personal mission statement, a personal mantra, a personal thing, not just what my business is. And so when you bring yourself to your business, that's when you end up succeeding. I didn't think about one word at the time. What I did was I just made a list of what is Evan Carmichael all about. And I wrote down a bunch of different words and sentences. And believe was on that first list. Believe is my one word for, I guess, people listening. But I didn't connect with all of them yet. Like I didn't have an answer. I looked at that page and I didn't have an answer. I just filled the page list with words and sentences. I came back the next day and believe popped off the page for me for whatever reason. It just felt right. But it felt like it was too big. Like who am I to be Mr. Believe? It felt like it was too big a mission. You know, like I'm not good enough. And it's funny how often we talk ourselves down from the big ideas. It's not even the friends we have, it's ourselves. We say we can't do something. So I tried to add more to it. I tried to add more to believe. I tried to make them into sentences and nothing felt right. And the next day I just looked at it again and believe felt right. And so I said, okay, I like believe. And I'm a big tester. So I tested it on my newsletter first and then on my YouTube channel, in these little micro doses. And everything I touched around believe just did better by a lot. And it's not that it's the best word. It's just, it wasn't a better articulation of what I was. So it worked better for me. And then I thought, am I the only crazy person who wants to build a business around one word? Like, has this not been done before? And I started researching other companies and found out there's been other businesses and I interviewed them and I thought, hey, I should turn this into a book so other people can learn from that success as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. So in Your One Word, I remember there was a part where you said something about that at one point, you know, you were only making $300 a month.
Yeah.
How did you get past that point? Because there's a lot of people who will start a business and they'll think the hardest part is starting, but like what happens after you start and it's not going the way you planned it to go.
Yeah. For me, it was modeling success, which is still what I do on my YouTube channel and my books now too. I quit. Like I told my business partner, I quit. I'm tired of not making money. I'm tired of putting in crazy hours and lots of work and like, it's not working. You know, I feel like a worthless human being. This is not happening for us right now. And I'm out. I need to feel like I can do something that's going to make me feel, you know, like a valuable person again. And I got out of that and I just felt like, you know what? The realization was for me was I realized I'm not the first guy to try to do this before. I was in a biotech software company at the time and biotech software is still pretty new, but people had built software companies before. Like I don't have to be the genius. Somebody has figured this out. And so I looked at Bill Gates and how he started Microsoft. 0 to 1, not how he makes an extra $1 million now. Like, who cares? That's not helpful for me. But 0 to 1, how did that happen? And I copied his strategy, applied it to my business, and within a couple of weeks had my first check for $13,500. And, you know, that's not game-changing, life-changing kind of money. But for me, man, at the time, that was bank. Like, I'm making $300 a month. 13.5K was, I hit a home run. And then more important than that, I had a way to keep doing it. And so whenever you don't know the answer, my default is model success. Like, find somebody who's done it and deconstruct what worked for them. The bigger they are, someone like Bill Gates, there's tons of books, there's tons of interviews, there's tons of things you can learn on him. So there's someone in your industry who you look up to and respect, figure out how they got started. And there's a lot of lessons there for you to learn from.
Right. To kind of go off of that, from like you said, you started kind of with the tech company. How did you go from a tech company to like doing what you do on YouTube?
Yeah, so I'm not a techie by nature. I dabble in it, I guess, but it's not my forte. My business partners were the tech side. I was the business side. YouTube started as an experiment. YouTube started without the aspirations to be a big YouTuber. I was being asked questions because I'd sold my company, had some success, kind of young entrepreneur, and it was great. And I was humbled that people would want my opinion on anything. And I'd spend 30, 40 minutes responding to one email at a time because I wanted to give lots of value. And I thought, instead of writing these out, how about I just make a video where I told my answer, and then if anybody else had that question, they could learn from it as well. But I expected like a couple hundred people to watch it, not, you know, millions of people. That, and I love model success, and I was a visual learner, and I wish there was more resources out there to show the stories of famous entrepreneurs and what we could learn from them. And so that didn't exist. And instead of complaining about it, you know, typical entrepreneur is just, I'm going to go make it myself.
Right. That's great. Do you have days where you wake up and you don't feel like doing anything? And if you do, what do you do to keep, you know, doing things?
So I don't really have days where I wake up and I don't feel like doing anything, but I don't wake up every day and be like, yes, today, like Thursday morning, unbelievable. Yeah, I can't wait to crush it. Like, that never happens. I wake up and I'm tired and I have crust in my eyes and lines on my face from the sheets. And like, I wake up like everybody else. I think the difference is having a routine and a schedule that you can stick to that gets you set up. So like, what is your morning routine? There are some days when I wake up and I'm super pumped for whatever I'm about to do. I'm in flow state, and that's awesome. I try to stay there as much as possible, but I don't wake up every day in flow. Like that doesn't happen for me. If that's you, awesome, but that's not me, and I don't think that's most people. And so having a schedule that will keep you accountable, and a morning routine that helps you feel unstoppable on a daily basis, whatever that looks like. So for me, I like to share. So I want to learn something from somebody, or think about an entrepreneur that I've helped, and then I need to share the message. So I'll grab my phone and I'll make a Instagram story. And then that sets me up. So learning something and then sharing it. Without the sharing it doesn't get me set for the day yet. So I need to do those two things every morning. And then now I have a new Instagram live TV show that I do. And I meet a local entrepreneur and I help them for an hour. That gets me set up every single day. And so the great thing about that is when you set up your routine, when you set up your environment, you know, can people see this, or is this audio only?
This is, yeah, you can see it too.
You can see it. So like, you guys have this really funky tapestry behind you. You know, I commented out as soon as we came on. I've got a totally different environment, different vibe happening here. You know, you want to design your environment so it matches the vibe that you want to feel, right? So I walk in here and this helps make me feel like I need to believe in myself more. I've got, you know, that's my parents and myself when I'm like 8 or 9 years old. I got Kanye on the wall. I got Steve Jobs on the wall. Like, this makes me get pumped up when I come into my office every morning. You might walk in here and say, man, this is like, I would die in this office. This sucks. Awesome. You know, like, design your office, design your workspace, design your bedroom in a way that helps you feel inspired on the regular. So that, like, the physical environment and your morning routine, setting that up so that it happens automatically, and you know that doing those things will help get you set for the day to hopefully go out and have a great day.
Right. So, so I watched an interview you did with Lewis Howes, and you said at the time you were making 80 videos in one day. You know, so you
Yeah.
could do basically all the videos for a month in one day. Do you still do that? And two, what's the logic behind that?
And where do you find the time management for something like that? Because that's one of my big downfalls. I'm not so good with time management. That's something I'm learning myself.
Yeah. So I don't do 80 a day anymore. That was when I was filming once a month. I film once a week now. And so we'll cut that back to 20-ish videos a week. More because I'm spending more time on each of the videos, and my team is preparing things for me that we're not a month ahead on. For the time management, it's just your actions need to map to your ambitions. And so you have ambitions, and not just business ambitions, life ambitions. Like, I don't know if you're married or not, or kids or not, or whatever your life ambitions are. Then I default to looking at my calendar, and I say, okay, I look at my week next week. If I did the things that are in my calendar for next week, am I moving closer to hitting my ambitions or not? So if I'm making videos, then yeah. But if I spend a week and there's no videos happening, then no, I'm not getting closer to my ambitions. And so if you think that your time management is an issue now, you know, it only gets harder as you grow bigger. Like I have 24 people on my team, it's harder. You know, like I got to manage all these people on top of managing myself. And so one, I remind myself of whatever I'm doing right now, whatever challenge I think that's in front of me, I tell myself, this is just a warm up. Like, this is just a warm up. I'm capable of more. I'm capable of more than what I'm facing right now. Because if you feel like the current problem is overwhelming, then that's the limit of what you're capable of doing. So this is just a warm up. Then I look at my calendar, and I look at my goals, and I see how do I match these things up. I'm a huge believer, and this may not work for you, but I chunk my days. So Thursday is my public facing day. You know, we're talking on a Thursday. I don't know when you guys are going to launch this thing, but I'm an introvert. And so that may not come across. You may not believe me, but I am. And I need to get up for public. I call this public facing day. So I need to get up for my interviews, and it's been all day, interviews and podcasts and hangouts and meetups. And that's my Thursday every day. And I like that because I have a really hard time switching tasks. Like, to talk to you guys and be all fired up and energetic and then go and write my book and then come back and then do another interview. Like, I can't. The energy level, it's doable, but it just sucks so much for me that it's better for me to stay in one zone for the day. I find it super helpful. Plus, I miss it. So like, Thursday is my public facing day. I'm not going to do interviews again until next Thursday. And so by the end of today, I'm going to be wiped and like ready to crash. And then tomorrow I'll be like, okay, I don't have to do interviews. But then come like next Tuesday, Wednesday, it's like, when am I going to do interviews again? Like, I miss it. I miss the work. And so putting on my YouTube videos, Tuesday is my YouTube video day. Tuesday's crazy. I have to record tons of videos, but then I don't touch it again for another week. So it forces you to be productive, and that I need to get all my videos done on Tuesday. And then I start to miss it as the week goes on, and I get into early next week. Like, I can't wait for, like, when's Tuesday coming around? And so I find that really helps me, at least, as opposed to trying to fit multiple things in on multiple days.
Right.
So I had a question about my wife and I are just starting a photography and videography company to bring in money to hopefully invest in more things in the future. And we eventually, through social media, want to build our own brand off it. The photography company is called Earthly by Nature. And I like the name of that. I feel like we can easily build a brand off it. And like your one word thing, for me and her, our one word is love. Like, love literally drives us. It might sound silly or cliche.
I love it, dude. I love it.
Thank you. I was just wondering what advice you could give to someone that's just starting off their own business that could help them promote more, that could get their business out more. Because right now we're offering on Facebook through our business page free photos until the first of the year, till we actually establish our business, to actually get our name out there. And let people know, you know, we do a good job. I was wondering if you had any other advice you could possibly give someone just starting off their first business like that.
Yeah, I love it. I would say you got to figure out what your style is going to be. And so, like, you guys have a vibe. I've been doing a lot of these super professional corporate podcast interviews all day long. And not that you guys aren't professional, but you're not corporate, right? Like you're not in a suit, you're in these hoodies, you got like the space universe on your shirt there, like this wild tapestry behind you, right? And so like that's your style, and that's awesome. And the name is like, what is it? Green Creative?
Earthly by nature.
Earthly by nature, right? Okay, so like that vibe, how does that express itself in a picture? So if you're coming and taking a picture of me, as an example, you don't want me doing the same stuff that every other photographer is going to take. You don't want me just standing like a boring corporate headshot, you know, smile like that everybody else can take. It's figuring out what is your style and vibe. And maybe that pushes some people away. Like maybe the CEO who just wants a corporate headshot doesn't want to hire you because you're too wild and free. Great. But the people who love wild and free, they're going to want to come to you. So it's when you're doing these free shots, which is great. I'd also look at reaching out to influencers in your city. Like, where are you guys based?
Elmira,
New York. Oh, you're in New York. Oh, you got tons. I mean, how far away from you from Manhattan?
I think it's about 4.5 hours.
Not the end of the world. Like I'd be looking at who's in New York that you might reach out to and say, hey, I want to do a free photo shoot for you. Somebody recognizable. Maybe not like Jay-Z or somebody too high up, but people in your circle who you look up to, people who you follow on Instagram, who, if you know, they're coming to New York or if they're somewhere close to New York, and go do them, and then make the shot awesome, like your style, earthly, love. Like how does that express itself out? How do you take what's on your canvas and your t-shirt and pop that into your art so that when I look at your picture, it's wild and different? Like, wow, who took that picture? Yeah, these crazy, this husband and wife duo, they're all about love, you know, the upstate New York. And then you start building a brand for yourself, right? Where I think most people try to look like everybody else, and then it's a race to the bottom. Like, who can provide the best, you know, wedding photography at the cheapest rate? No, like I want you charging a premium, because if you want the love duo, you want some awesome pictures that are going to be wild and different compared to what everybody else is going to do, we'll come, but you're going to pay a premium for us.
Right.
That's awesome.
Another question I had is when you got into the business side of things in life, if you ever got anxiety talking with people and how you dealt with it. I feel like it's one of my downfalls when it comes to business things. Sometimes I feel like I'm almost too nice, too kind. So I feel like that makes me real anxious with dealing with other people sometimes. I was just wondering if you had any advice you could give to somebody that feels anxious when dealing with business things and talking with other people.
Yeah. So first off, I think if you don't have anything, if you look at what's coming up in your next couple of weeks, if there's nothing in your calendar that makes you feel anxious, then you hate your life. Like that's how you grow. You grow through adversity. So if there's nothing that makes you feel nervous or anxious in the next month in your calendar, like you legit hate your life. You're just sitting on the couch complaining. So whether that's having a conversation, whether that's trying out a new skill, whether that's going skydiving, like anything, like something, the people who love their life are always testing new things and putting themselves in situations where they feel anxious or nervous. So just by default, like you're winning. It's amazing. It's good. For conversation with people, there's a couple angles you could take. One, I think you're doing a great job right here. You're asking great questions. You're personable. You know, I wouldn't be too hard on yourself. I think you're awesome. And I've been doing interviews all day long. So
thank you.
This is good. I would be honest. I think you win by being authentic. So I came back from a conference in LA and a guy was saying there, people are asking me, or they're giving me credit for helping them with their YouTube channel. And they're saying, man, you changed my life. Like, thank you so much. And I just respond saying, oh, thank you. But like, I don't know how to accept compliments yet because I'm working on it. And so I told them
that.
Well, so I told them, like, don't give a fake ass thank you, right? When it's not real. Say, you know what? I really appreciate that. I'm having a hard time accepting compliments right now. And it's just something I'm working through. And so thank you. Like, you're giving me one extra step of confidence to accepting compliments and knowing that I'm having an impact on people's lives. Like, that's a real, genuine answer. And they're going to love you even more for it instead of a fake ass answer. So lean in on the thing that you're uncomfortable with and say, you know what? I'm uncomfortable with this, instead of pretending to be someone you're not. Right. And then with practice and experience, you get better at it.
Right. That's great. Like, instead of pretending to be comfortable, just almost admit, yeah, I'm kind of uncomfortable, but I'm still going to go through with this anyways.
Yeah. Like, if you guys came out here, we're in suits, you'd be really uncomfortable.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You feel like I have to do that to be on this show or to have Evan on or whatever, right? And I'm probably a weird guest for what you might normally have on your show. I love that, right? I'm still going to be me, right? Like, if everybody you've had on has wild sweaters and wild tapestry, like, I'm still coming on me, you know, you take it or leave it. I want to try to bring value. And so, like, that's the equivalent. If you're going into a conversation and you're really nervous, but you're trying to fake being super confident, it's the equivalent of you guys coming on this show and doing it in a suit. It's just not going to feel right.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So, I was watching, I think it was a post that you made. It might've been, one of your Instagram, like, lives, live talks that you do in the morning. Cause I caught the one you did this morning, but I caught one a little bit ago.
Okay.
It was, something about, are you working on a new book?
Yeah.
And if so, what is this one about?
So I have a video series called 254 Confidence, where every morning it gives you a free video around building your confidence. So it's 30 seconds to a couple minutes long video. We're turning it into a book, so that the idea is every day you read a page from the book and there's a lesson from somebody on building your confidence, and then in action items like, okay, you've learned this, now go off and do this. And so every day you're taking micro doses of building your confidence, so that by the time, hopefully through the book, you're a much more confident person than when you started. At least that's the theory. That's a hypothesis. We'll see what happens. But yeah, December 6th is our launch date for the book.
Oh, that's awesome.
It kind of sounds like a good idea mixed with the idea we were just talking about being anxious. I never did a photography gig, and last month I had a friend whose sister had a wedding and the videographer canceled, and I'd never done videography, but he offered me the chance. And so many times I wanted to back out of it because I was so anxious, and I didn't. And by facing that and just doing it and going right into it, come to find out that was a skill that I had that I was unaware of. So that's why my wife and I are adding the videography into the photography.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping over the next year to continue to. I'm definitely got to start watching more of your videos. I apologize, I didn't do enough of my homework.
Oh, it's okay, man.
Definitely been busy with the videos and photos recently.
But that's the thing. Like, if you're nervous about something, it's a sign that you have to do it. Even just to prove to yourself that you can do it, regardless. Like, if you went and you filmed that video and it was like the worst thing of all time, you sucked at it, and you're like, wow, I hate this. I hate video. I'm never going to go back to it. I still pat myself on the back to see I did it. Like, I was nervous to do this and I did it. That's the win, regardless of the result. Right. And so you guys know Larry King?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, legendary interviewer. How he got started was he was working at a radio station, and the regular host like called in sick super last minute. So he said, okay, Larry, you're in. And he goes on the air and he says, hi, I'm Larry King. I don't know what I'm doing. This is my first time on the radio, but I hope, you guys will cut me some slack and let's have a good couple hours together. Right? As opposed to going on and faking it, trying to be somebody who he's not. Right? And so if you're nervous or you're uncomfortable about it, that's typically the thing that you should be doing.
That's kind of what I'm going through right now with, like, because I have so many things I'm trying to do, and it's like, so I guess another question. So I'm doing, like, I don't know, off the top of my head, probably 8 different things, and like I got like 2 gigs I'm doing this weekend because I'm a rapper as well and I sing and things like that. And I guess, how do I decipher which one I should do the most? Like, because like do I do the one that's going to bring in the money first, or do I do the one that I'm most passionate about, or do I do the one that I'm just having a hard time figuring out which one to put my time in the most?
Well, that's a heart thing. Like, do you love this girl or not? It's a heart thing. So listen, making money is real, and you gotta make money to pay the bills and get by. And ideally, if you're taking a job, you're doing something where you're going to learn the ropes, understand the industry. Like, you don't get some job you hate, but you get a job working with a rapper who's going to teach you a little bit about the industry. But if you're now self-employed and you can kind of manage, awesome. You have to lead with the heart, the thing that you love doing, and then trust that everything else will work out, because it will. Because the only way that you actually get good at it is following the thing that you love doing. When I started helping entrepreneurs, I never thought I'd make money. When I started speaking, I had 3 people show up to a free event that I was doing at the YMCA. 3 people showed up, and it was free. Like, how am I ever going to make money if 3 people only show up to a free thing? Entrepreneurs don't have money anyway. Like, how am I going to sell anything? The entrepreneurs don't have money. And what corporation is going to hire me to come be a speaker? Because I'm going to tell their team, go be entrepreneurs. Like, no company's going to hire me either. So I never thought I'd make money. But those 3 people, I loved it. I loved it so much that I had to find a way to keep doing it. And ultimately it ended up working out. I look at the show, the IG show you talked about that I do every morning. I don't have time for this IG show. Like, there's no time with what I'm working on. I'm doing a 90-day tour in 23 cities in the US in January. I'm launching my book December 6th. I've got a bunch of other projects, and I've been out of the country for the past 5 weeks. And now I'm going to take 2 hours out of every day to do an IG show. It doesn't make sense. Like, from a logical perspective, this is a stupid decision. But it feels right. I got to do it. And I know that if I keep doing it, something great's going to come out of it. So, like, your rap you may not be pulling in the money yet. I don't know. Like, you pick one of the 8 things you're doing. It may not be pulling in the money yet, but you love doing it. If it feels like breathing for you, then you have to find a way to keep going. And whatever you need to do to sustain, the rest of your lifestyle. But, like, that thing is a thing that ultimately you'll end up taking off with. It just needs a little more watering.
All right. I like that.
How much time we got?
About 5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to say, too, before we get over, I seriously thank you very much for being on our podcast. And actually, we were talking about it before we started, that we really appreciate you doing this for such a little guy. People that don't have a big following yet, it actually means a lot to us that you took the time out of your busy day to do this for us. Since me and him are both just kind of getting into starting our own businesses and everything. I got out of the military when I was 22 and just had no passion for anything in life, no direction. And now being 28, about to turn 29 next month, I finally have a clear vision of what I want in life and a passion. So I really just thank you again for being on. I can't deny too. I should have said in the beginning, I'm nervous. You can probably hear it in my voice a little bit.
Great. That's great. And, like, that's a great lead, because then people who are listening to you, it just makes you more human. Like, nobody wants to learn from the perfect person.
Yeah.
So the thing that you're most afraid of is the thing that's actually going to bring you the biggest audience.
Right.
So, I mean, I love coming on. I wish I was your first guest. Like, I love the start. I love that. Hopefully you get a good show and you can use my name to then get other people, at least, who know me, and that helps build,
Right.
what you're doing. I love that. And some people, that's what really drives them. Like, I want you guys to win. And if I can be 0.5% of the difference that helps you get to where you want to go, like, I'm super pumped.
Right. And just like Fi said, I really do appreciate it, because I don't know, even when I messaged you, I was nervous, and, like, I try to not be nervous. I try to, like, face my fears, use my darkness as motivation. And, like, I try to, like, push through things and just, but when you agreed to do the podcast, it definitely was, for lack of a better word, not necessarily an ego booster, but it made me realize that the thoughts are possible.
Things are possible.
It's possible to continue as long as I keep pushing.
Man.
That it's possible that things could work out.
But here's the thing. I would have been your first guest. If you emailed me out of the gate to say, hey, Evan, I'm launching a brand new podcast. Can you come on and talk? Yes. Like, as long as the timing works, I never look at the size of the audience. It just, does it fit my schedule? Because it's kind of nuts. But I would have said yes. So it's great that you waited, like, you didn't wait 5 years to ask, but I would have said yes from the start. And so, like, if you're nervous about it, then you got to go towards it. And even if, like, listen, even if I could have come on and said, no, man, like, what are you talking? You're just getting, you suck. I'm not coming on your stupid brand new podcast. Like, screw you. That could have been what I said. Right. But even if that was the response, like, pat yourself on the back. You did it. You tried. Like the effort is the thing you want to tie your self-respect to, not the results.
Right. Well,
So now whoever else is on your list, like go hard, right? Go hard and hit them every week. I'm trying to get in touch with Arnold Schwarzenegger because my videographer loves Arnold, and we're doing a 90-day tour, and we're hitting up California, and I want them to meet somehow. And I tweet them every week, and I get zero response. Every week, zero response. Every week, zero. And then whatever, man. I got a couple 100,000 followers on Twitter. I'm verified, like all the things that should have zero response. And so I'm reaching out to everybody I know, like, hey, do you have a path to Arnold? I don't even care about Arnold. I just want to help my boy Danny get to meet with his hero, right? That's awesome. It. But like it may not work. I may get rejected. He may look at me and say, like, no, man, like you're a clown. Forget you. I want movies. Awesome. But like, I'm proud of my effort. I'm hustling, right? Whether I get the result or not. And so like, same thing now, like awesomeness work, just don't wait. However long you waited to contact me, like 6 months, don't wait that long next time, right? For the next one, like after this, ASAP, you're on Twitter, reaching out to people, you're DMing, you're emailing people. And then every week you just set a reminder. Whoever your hero is, like, I want to have Kanye on the podcast. Awesome. Like every week for 5 years, you're tweeting at Kanye. Every week for 5 years, you're hitting up Jay-Z. You're trying the outreach, right? And then ultimately, whether you get it or not, it's the effort you're putting in. And if you keep applying that across all the people that you want to get, you'd be shocked at how many people would say yes to you.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Evan.
Yep. Thank you again for joining us today.
Cool, guy. What episode number is this for you?
8.
8.
Yeah,
8.
Sure, 8.
I want to be a guest number 100.
Okay.
Oh, we could definitely make that happen.
Right.
Coming back for episode 100.
All right.
We would love that if we could work that out.
Cool,
Okay.
man. Okay, when you're getting close, like 95-ish, email my assistant, and we'll figure out a time to come back for 100.
Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Sounds awesome.
Love it, guys. Thanks for your energy, man. Appreciate it.
Hey, have a good day. Safe journey.
Cheers.